This is something that I'm sure a lot of people have discussed many times when it comes to Black-owned businesses. We like to promote our own. We like to see our own doing good. However, there isn't that many Black-owned businesses out there, or even successful Black-owned businesses. So we're asking, why do majority Black-owned businesses fail? This is what we're moving on to next. Watching on Facebook, do send your messages, okay? And I will read them. Let me come to you, Tiffany. This is your area, and I'm sure you're going to share with us your expertise. So the question, why do you think many Black-owned businesses fail?
Okay, so there are various reasons why Black businesses fail. The three that are prominent is because we're very, how do I say it? We're very caught up in our ways. Black people generally don't want to understand further than what they know. Mm-hmm. It takes them a while for them to figure out, okay, this is where I want to be at. How do I move to the next step? And we don't do this because we don't do due diligence when we start our companies, or we do due diligence to a certain degree. So let's say we want our company to be 2 years, and that's when our due diligence ends, not knowing that there are other trends that are coming in. So with your due diligence, you should be doing it all the time, so that all the other trends that are coming in, you can penetrate into the markets that they capitalize in. So that's one reason why, because we just we'd like to find education, or to
enhance our education.
Yeah. Right. Two, we're very complacent. I've got a business. My business is making 30,000. I'm fine with it. Why? Because I'm richer than my cousin. Honestly, yeah. I'm richer than my cousin. Because that 30,000 is coming in every year, I'm richer than my cousin. My cousin is not making a dime. We're very complacent. My brother has this, I've got this double. I don't really care about anybody else. That kills businesses. Because reason is, you can join the business with your cousin and say, come in and join us. But because your cousin doesn't have what you have, he's below you.
Yeah.
And because he's below you, you don't seem to understand that he might be your tool to make your business go that extra mile, to make sure that your business is stable. 3, we don't know what our stability points are. In general, we talk, but when you say put pen to paper now, how many people started their business with a business plan? Or go two months, do their business, 3 months, be profitable, and say, okay, cool, now I'm going to sit down with a consultant. I want to know how I can penetrate through this market. Because to be successful does not mean you leverage on just one market.
Okay.
It means you have to leverage on several markets and make sure that your company has different objectives to meet these markets' needs. So for me personally, I think Black people actually fail because of these 3 things. We're complacent, we lack education on it, and we also feel like we're on top of the world. And we can't keep doing that, because if not, let's say I'm a Black person, I'm in Europe. My market is not in Ghana. My market is not in Africa. So my mentality that I'm coming from in Africa or in Ghana, or let's be specific, Ghana, I can't keep it in the UK or in the USA. And I need that money because that's the currency I'm collecting.
Yeah.
So, and we're too afraid. That's one thing I've realized. We're too afraid. We're too scared to take risk. And entrepreneurialism, businesses are about taking risk. You cannot say you run a business if you're not willing to take a risk at some point. It might be in the beginning, it might be in 2 years. Roughly, latest by, you should have taken that risk by the 3rd year. So you know that you need to jump from A, B, C, D. There are companies that are out here that are making money. They're not recognized because they don't want to be recognized, but they're jumping those leaps because they're strategically sitting down and planning. There's no complacency. There's no I'm bigger than anybody. It's okay, I'm in this economy, I need to know how I can thrive in this economy. I'm going to pay this person to give me this tip because they understand the economy, they understand the market, they understand the technical, they're very savvy to what is going on. We don't like to pay. We don't like to pay.
We're lost. Over to you, Priscilla.
I should expect to follow. I observe a lot of businesses, and I've observed that the primary reason for setting out to have a business isn't because for most people it's not necessarily because they want to grow that business, employ people, be the best in the market, compete with the market, that kind of thing. I think what tends to be is to say, oh, I have a business. And I've also observed that when people set up businesses, they don't work. The structures are not in place from the get-go for the growth, development, and expansion of the business. There's also another problem that we face. The access to finance ability, for instance. That support system is so necessary for growth, for development, and all of that. But then I think that one of the worst things that affects us is our lack of community subscription. That's what I call it. In the sense that our black community are not subscribing to what we as black people are selling or whatever our business is about. And we're not doing that in the numbers that we should. Although, as we said at the beginning, when I said, if we boycott those cinemas, they will never make those mistakes again. But we don't understand the power that we have and our collective ability. We're always talking about the Indians, we're always talking about the Jewish people. Why? Because those two groups make sure that they have their community subscription, in the sense that most members of their community subscribe to their shops, to their businesses, whatever it is that they're running. Members of that community subscribe to it, so their monies go round. Whereas for us, we are not having the same level of community subscription, and for any business to grow, you need clientele.
Tiffany, you think we're our own worst enemy?
I think we're our own worst enemy, and it comes from an individual, because I've grown up in a household where, obviously entrepreneurship run throughout, from my father or my grandfather all the way down. But one thing I would say is that we know the mentality of who we are and where we are at, and we know that this is it. Black people don't support until you support yourself. So one thing is, as much as I agree with what you're saying, but with the mentality that we've picked up, which we can't change because several people have tried to change over the years, is we need to stop being scared.
We can change it.
We can change it, but we won't be able to change it directly.
Why?
Because where we are at now is like, if I want to do something, I'm going to tell my mom, right? I go straight to my mum and I'm like, this is what I want to do. I'm so energetic. I'm so going to do it. She's turn around, she'd be like, you go and see somewhere. Do you get it? So from that point onward, that throws me.
Do you sit somewhere or do you continue?
You're meant to continue. But sometimes when it's coming from inside your house, it's like, do you know what? They don't even see the potential in me. What's this? I don't care about the zeal. It varies. Because some people can just say, I don't even care about you guys. And those are the people that succeed. But there are some people who do not succeed because the simple fact that they don't have their support from inside their house. They don't have their support from inside, so they can't grow outside. And in order for a flower to grow, it has to grow from inside.
Right.
Something needs to blossom from inside in order for it to germinate. And that's the same thing with individuals who are doing this business. Yes, community is meant to support. But if your own mother can't support you, if your own brother can't support you, why should the next person support you? Yes, you will get that support from outside, but sometimes it will take you just saying, forget what these people are saying and let me go for the seed.
What about in terms of planning? Because I remember watching Dragon's Den, and the dragons are very, very brutal. And when people come to make their pitch, they want to know what profit or returns in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And I don't know if this is something that a lot of black businesses don't actually look out for.
Well, when you put a business plan together, you should have a business plan that sets out what you intend to do at least for the first 5 years.
Yeah.
And that should be able to show your growth, how you intend to make money, when you intend to start making money, and how much money you think you're going to make. Those dragons don't play because it's their money. They're not in it just for nicety. They're in it to make money. And I think that's the other mistake that we also make as well, is that we don't realize that we're in business to make money first and foremost.
Yeah.
Most of us just go, we're in business. No, yes, you are in business, but remember, you're here to make money. And you should not be afraid to say, I'm here to make money. You should not be afraid. And I think because we don't think like that, we undercharge at times.
Yeah.
We don't understand
the value.
The value. And we also don't understand the importance of getting people in who know what to do and how to do it.
The right people.
Because that's how you're going to make money.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna do it because you're a jack of all trades to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You can't answer the phone and then be the one that's opening the door, and also be the one that is serving coffee as you welcome people that have come to see you into your office, and then you sit down and talk to them about whatever it is that you're offering, or if you're in a shop, for instance, or if you own a restaurant or whatever it is. You just can't do it by yourself, or nor can you do it relying on 3 or 4 members of your family. You're only going to do it by getting people in who are, first of all, they understand how to manage a restaurant.
Yeah.
They understand how to wait tables and take orders back and forth. Those who understand the cooking and the timings of tables and cooking and service and all of that. You need to get those experts in. But we tend to joke with those key things. We take it so lightly, and we on our business plans, we struggle to state that we're going to pay ourselves good money, and we struggle to include the fact that we're going to employ and pay them accordingly.
Yeah.
And these are the things I think affects us. And I think for those who are successful and they are doing well, go and check them. You will find that they have people in the right places. They have that needed support. And they understand that, I don't know how to be the one to answer the phone. But, she does it very well, or he does it very well. So pay them to do that whilst I think about something else.
Go on.
Value proposition is very key.
Yeah.
The reason being is, like you're saying, it's not everybody, you're not an expert at every aspect of your life.
Yeah.
And you can't be an expert at every aspect of your business either. Reason being is, someone who has failed twice already, and I'm speaking because I don't really care about it. I've failed twice because I always try to do this friends and family benefit without understanding what value proposition is. And when you do this friend and family business, you would end up with a loss. Not 1 year, not 2 year, not 3 year, not 4 year, 5 years in a row, and you're going to end up claiming bankruptcy. Straight up, I'm going to tell you this now. Reason being is, as much as you know that your family member went to school for that particular area, they're not meant to be running your business in that aspect. The relationship you should have with your employees should be very neutral. Neutral to the sense that you value them.
No.
When it becomes family and friends, the value's out of the way because they can come and talk to you anyhow. There's strings.
Well, no.
There's strings because at the end of the day, you know that if it's my older brother messes up, how do I go about it? Now you're like, oh, I don't want to ruin my family relationship or my friendship with this person. Just don't do it. Get somebody, pay somebody who's outside to come, sit down with you and say, okay, cool, this is how I think we should do about it. Okay, cool, this is what it is. What if they don't comply to your rules or regulations? Look, you're fired.
I understand that, but I also think that, the other problem is we don't know where to draw the line. There's nothing wrong with having friends or families working with you because they may be working for somebody and they're skilled in that. And they are probably the best at that, and they have the expertise. I think the problem we have is not knowing where to draw the line. to say that, listen, with all due respect, the moment we step here is business.
Yeah.
Let's do family when we leave.
Outside.
Let's do family at lunchtime.
Yeah.
But I expect you to be here at 9 a.m. because that's the time you start work. So get here at 9 a.m. No, it's true.
Yeah.
But you know, you have to lay down those rules, and eventually people respect you and they show up for it.
Money devotions. You can never forget money devotions.
Oh,
Yeah, you're the devil. You have the devil. I want us to look at this quickly before we wrap up. Do you think, especially us here in the UK, do businessmen and women sometimes get it wrong in terms of the services that they provide, or don't really understand the market properly here as to, back home?
Yeah, I definitely think so. The reason being is, a lot of people do come with the intention of, okay, cool, I want to penetrate into this market. Now, we look at one company because it's the top company, or let's say we take Apple for example.
Yeah.
Somebody will come and be like, oh, I want to do the same thing. Why? What's your aim? Who are you? Who is your competitor? What's it? Oh, Apple is my competitor. What do you mean? You can't. We jump too far without. We miss the steps that we need to take.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. We miss the steps because we jump too far into it. We feel like let's say in business, I want a business, so I'm going to do this ABCD. Have you looked at the FTSE 100? Can your company comply with a company within that process? No, you can't. Why? Understand the market first. Understand that this is what people are doing. Okay, I want to sell bread. Where do they sell bread? You're the only Ghanaian person. The Jews, they sell bread in Stamford Hill. Am I correct? Okay, cool. How about making the Jews my competitors? Right? I am the only person that sells African bread. The Jews are there. But no, they will jump and say, oh no, I want to go to Tesco. What? Start somewhere small and grow your business. Don't just jump. Understand the market. As you're understanding the market, you're gradually picking up different things, such as FTSE 100. What are they doing? Pick one of the companies out of it. What are they doing to make their company grow further than what it is? Can I implement it in my company now? If you can't do it in the first year, okay, cool. The second year, let's look at it. It takes time. Business takes time. We're too fast. And that's why we can't understand the market. We're too fast. We feel like the same mentality we come from back home in Ghana and say, oh yeah, because I know Brad Charles over there, Brad Charles too can help me here. It doesn't work that way in the UK. So you need to understand the system, you need to understand the legalities. Politics plays a big part in the UK, in any business in the UK. Whether you like it or not, it's not Ghana politics where I know this MPP guy or I know this. No, there is rules and regulations which we need to understand. So it's about taking each step one at a time and understanding, going in depth and understanding that this is what it is. Not because you've got somebody else also there doing due diligence for you, but you yourself are taking it as a responsibility to understand what is going on.
Priscilla?
Yeah, I think I agree with a lot of what you said, and I think that we don't start out with clear definitions of what we're doing. And we're so eager as well, as you said. There are steps and stages, and we're not, a lot of people are not prepared to follow it. And the other thing about the environment is that in as much as a business may work somewhere else, you need to understand the audience of where you're bringing it. Who are your clienteles? Have you gone out to do your market survey, for instance, to find out what they're wanting? What are the current trends? How are you going to differ? To offer something that is an alternative, or that is better, or that is equal to what's on the market. Who are your competitors? These are all the things that we need to look at. Is there a void in the market that we're filling, for instance? There are so many things that I think a lot of the times we fail to do. What we tend to do is jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
So, Jones is selling shoes. If Jones can't sell shoes,
I can do
I
it.
can also sell shoes.
Let me just say a quick joke. So this was, I think my friend is probably watching right now. So back in the days, we went to one club and we just there, chit chatting, and then one of our friends went away and he was dancing with a girl, and then this guy that came in later said, "What? He does it with a girl. If he's picking up a girl, I can pick up a girl. He ended up with a lock hip.
Hip get locked.
Yeah, I don't know. Start questioning his age. but then it is true, because sometimes I find it difficult, because most of the times here I want to go to the African shop, the Nigerian shop, the Ghanaian shop, the Kenyan shop. Even though you can find all of these things probably in Tesco's. What baffles me is when you go to these shops that sell the ingredients that we need to make our food, about 80% of them are not Africans. It's either Indians or Romanians
But that is also, there's a structural
Disposition for it.
yeah, there's a structural disposition for that in this country, and it's, as she says, it's political. It's deeper. It's very deep. When we see all of that, you would find that the Asians will come together. They literally own the market. So when we come along and we want to do the same thing, they will do everything possible to limit that or to prevent that. So again, I keep saying this, when we recognize that if we stop going into those hair shops, for instance, they will stop making the fakes.
Guys, thank you very much for coming on the LogicBox today. We've had Priscilla and also Tiffany. Priscilla is a broadcaster and a political analyst. Tiffany Nelson is a business development strategist. We've had here on today's show. To our viewers and listeners on Facebook, thank you very much for tuning in. We're done for another day. Make sure you clock in with us. Same place, same time next week, Thursday. Okay? And do share. I'm looking at the camera, so I'm talking to you. Okay? Make sure you share. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on social media for fresh content. All right? It's the LogicBox. Thank you for tuning in. It's goodbye from us.